Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
Back again with another one.
We back again, brother. And before we jump in, because y'all gonna want to watch this episode, because I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest I need to get off. But before I get there, make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, comment, ring that bell. Stay locked in with everything that me and Peach gonna keep delivering y'all. No Stats is here to stay. We delivering y'all content.
Baby.
And we appreciate all the love, man. The numbers have been climbing. The likes have been climbing. The comments. We appreciate it all. We really do. So keep doing y'all thing, and we're going to keep doing ours.
We gonna keep doing ours, man. Love
Love
is
is
love,
love.
baby. Love is love, man.
Watch the handle, it takes skill. We gotta run it back. We in the field, and you said it Jason Jack. You in your field, we looking for the facts. Let's keep it real, yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats.
Bro, real fast. We say, this is No Stats where the eye test is held to a higher standard, right? We thrive off the eye test. For these last 4 weeks, my eyes have been burning.
His eyes is bleeding.
Bro, my eyes have been burning. My chest been hurting. Solely off of my Cincinnati Bengals, man. It's been tough. And I kind of wanted to recap the entire week 4 slate. And I guess we could talk about it, towards the end, but it's
You got to
been
get
tough,
this
bro.
off your chest, man. I want to ask you, because I text you, and not to cut you off early. I had text you, man, and it was just so surprising to see the Bengals lose in the fashion that they lost in. To not score any touchdowns, only put up 3 points. And, I get like the offseason woes with Joe Burrow being in and out of the lineup. But it's still some familiarity there with the guys that you're playing with. You've been playing with Jamarr Chase. You've been playing with T. Higgins. Joe Mixon's been there. Like, it's all familiar. And I was expecting like around like this time, week 4, that we start seeing like the Cincinnati Bengals that we're accustomed to seeing, and it's like it seems like it's heading like in the opposite direction, like a down year, and I'm just confused on why. And is it still no reason to panic? I mean, 1-3, you're not completely out of the hole, but you're knocking on the door of 1-4, 1-5, 2-7, shit like that, to where like it ain't really no coming back from that, man. But you really watch the games and dissect these games. This is your team. You know this team like the back of your hand, bro. What the hell is going on, bro?
Bro, I've been trying to figure this out. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. And you was asking me like, is there still hope? Is there still no sign of panic? I'm starting to panic. I'm gonna be honest. I'm holding on, right? I'm holding on because I know, like, some things just don't make sense. Some things just don't make sense, bro. This is a team that has been, a top 5, top 10 at least team in offense the last 2 years. You got a guy like Joe Burrow who, right now, I know it's a small sample size. Prior to the year starting, I forget what the minimum starts was, but he was the leading quarterback in NFL history in completion percentage. He led the NFL over the past 2 seasons in quarterback rating or passer rating by everybody. Like, it was a guy who was in the AFC Championship, a team in the AFC Championship and in the Super Bowl, a defense that was thriving. It was just like top tier, right? Upper echelon. Some of the big media outlets had them Super Bowl predictions. And now we're the second to worst offense in points per game. Joe Burrow has the last completion rate in the NFL. 2 games where we only scored 3 points, no touchdowns. Jamarr Chase and T. Higgins look, they're not getting opportunities. The defense played good. I don't know how this happened, but I'm going to try to break it down.
I was gonna say, what are you seeing? What are you seeing in these games that you're accustomed to seeing the Bengals one way? What have you been seeing this year through the first 4 weeks that you're like, yo, what the fuck is really going on?
So first off, what everybody has been talking about and the main headlines is Joe Burrow's calf. And it's true. He's not moving. Joe Burrow is staying in the pocket. If pressure comes, he's throwing the ball at the ground at the foot of the receiver, throwing it out of bounds, just getting rid of the ball, not trying to get sacked. Joe Burrow is a pocket passer, but he's kind of like Brady with his shiftiness in the pocket. He can move. When we watch Joe Burrow highlights, he's getting out of the pocket. You remember that Kansas City Chiefs game 2 years ago where he escaped Chandler Jones, throw it down the field. That's what makes Joe Burrow special, right? He can process and read defenses, but being able to play some backyard football and ad-lib, which makes those elite quarterbacks elite most of the time.
Absolutely.
And he's not able to do that. I think I underestimated that the calf would be like this. Like, he would be like this. Because, like I said, you were saying he missed some training camp, but his rookie year, he missed it because of COVID. The second year was the ACL. The third year was the appendectomy surgery. So it's not like he's never missed camp before. And when we did miss camp, we did have slow starts. That's why after week 1, there wasn't any panic. We looked horrible in Cleveland. Weather was sucky. I was like, we'll be all right. Week 2, we played Baltimore. And although we lost, it was 27-24, right? Like, it was, and then week 3, we win. So like you said, it was in a total opposite direction because everybody felt like, all right, this is a team that's going to get their feet under them because of what they've been. It looks horrible, bro. But I don't think people are going to blame it on the offensive line. I don't think the offensive line that bad. That Tennessee game, when they got home, it was a lot of blitzes. And we weren't putting extra guys back there to pick up the blitzes. And Joe Burrow can't move. I think that's why, Tennessee, they have a great defensive front, but I think that's why they got home so many times. I don't think the offensive line is as bad as people are saying it is. I think it's better than the last 2 years. Joe Burrow can't move. That's one. But coaching. And before I get to what I'm going to get to, Zac Taylor has did a phenomenal job with this Bengals organization. He's came in, took over for Marvin Lewis, right? First couple of years was rough. Got his quarterback. Since then, has taken his team to heights I haven't seen in my lifetime, right? I haven't even seen us put a playoff game and go out and we go to a Super Bowl and then an AFC Championship, right? The stadium is getting redesigned and there's money coming into the city. The stadium name change. It's just like a
that
whole
revenue,
rejuvenation.
baby.
Exactly. So he's a great culture setter. I think he brought a culture in that locker room. He'll take the fall for guys. I think he's very much a player's coach. Right, he'll listen to what you have to say and adapt. And he's a leader of men, to say the least. So I do like Zac Taylor as a head coach and as a leader and as a culture setter and a tone setter for this organization and this team. But here's my issue. Play calling is abysmal right now, bro. The play calling, I am slowly quickly realizing that Joe Burrow is what makes this team look as good as it is. And I know that's Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, but you got to think about it. The Chiefs was winning game before Patrick Mahomes. When Brady went down for a few games in New England, they was able to pull off games with Matt Castle and Jacoby Brissett, scheme up a few games to get wins. The defense was able to step up.
That system's intact. You know what I mean? No matter,
exactly.
The elite quarterbacks is going to make, more things happen. But if you can get an average guy in there within a good, solid system, and like you said, the schemes, you can make it work. You can win a couple games. You can get some winnable games down the stretch and stuff like that until you get your starting quarterback back. So I'm guessing you're not seeing this from the Bengals right now.
Bro, not at all, bro. The play calling, the defense I'm not too worried about, right? The defense played good against the Rams, but the defense, anybody that knows football knows if your offense can't get first downs, they can't put points on the board, and they're getting off the field like this, the defense is tired. The defense are on the field so much that they're going to eventually start missing tackles and blown coverages and things like that because, number one, there's no momentum, and number two, I'm on the field so much because you guys aren't producing, especially on the road, right? Like at home, you can get some juice from the crowd. But so the defense, I'm not too worried about. I think they'll come together. But this offense, man, Jamarr Chase was quoted saying, they asked him, do you feel like it's hard to get open? And he was like, I don't know if he saw that, but he was like, I'm open. I'm always fucking open. And he was like, excuse my profanity. But there's frustration building up, right? Because Jamarr Chase, and I tip my hat to Jamarr because he's been saying this. He said it in the off season, or the training camp preseason. He said Joe Burrow should sit the first 5 weeks. And now at the time I'm like, I think he'll be all right. He could play. I was being optimistic. He could play. But and I don't believe in Jake Browning.
Be right now when you're looking back on it, shit.
Right, bro. Because I'm thinking if he would have said, he said 5. If he would have said 4 and came back this week, could we not have won one game with Jake Browning maybe? And I know Jake, that's my thing though. I don't know how much faith I have in a guy like Jake Browning.
I was going to ask you about the backup.
When the play calling isn't to where it should be, right? Teams are just
when
firing.
when you talk about the Bengals play calling, what do you mean? Like, what are you seeing when you're watching these games? Like, are you seeing, all right, it's 3rd and fucking 12 and they choose to run the damn ball? Are they not putting guys in certain spots to be successful and to be able to execute? Like, what are you seeing, bro?
The Bengals have no offensive identity. And I think the league and myself as a fan and a lot of the fans that I watch on YouTube and shows that I follow are starting to realize that, bro. There's no offensive identity. The Bengals have been built and have a lot of success on Joe Burrow and his weapons making plays and making it work. That's what they are. Joe Burrow is that good and the talented receivers are that good where he can make it happen. But what I mean by the offense is porous is take a look at Miami. Take a look at San Fran. Right? They got guys coming in motion. The routes that they're running, they're scheming guys open, wheel routes and things like that where they're confusing the defense at the line of scrimmage and things like that, right? To get them off kilter where it's not like I'm in this formation. We know there was a time period, I remember last year as well, where it was like if Joe Mixon's on the left side, it's going to be a run. Or you can they were reading how Joe Mixon's stance was and when he's going to run the ball. So a lot of things were, they could seek it out. Exactly, very predictable, bro. And I feel like and a lot of people say it. The Bengals offense is very simple, very simplistic. When you have a healthy Joe Burrow, it doesn't matter because Joe Burrow's going to make the right reads. Plays. And we got the talent on the outside to, get open and get to where we need to. The problem is now Joe Burrow's stepping back. Their defensive coordinators, rightfully so, are saying, send pressure. And we're going to play one-on-one. If he can get it to them, we're going to play one-on-one. But just, be physical. And he hasn't, bro. That pressure's getting there. And like I said, but outside of Myles Garrett being a freak of nature, I feel like we've been handling the pressure. Aaron Donald had 1 sack against the Rams, but the offensive line has been okay when teams aren't blitzing. But when they blitz, it's like we don't know how to have extra guys in the backfield blocking, bro. It is so frustrating to watch. Man.
I know. I text you, man. I had AJ Brown anytime because how I look at it, and I know I'm diving into the betting aspect. How I look at it, after a while, I feel like guys is due. I feel like if I'm a quarterback and you're my main receiver and it's been 3 to 4 fucking weeks and you haven't scored a touchdown yet, in that 5th week, I'm gonna make sure you get a tutty because we always know like there's incentives in these contracts that these guys got to where if they hit a certain number on the stats, that's an extra maybe $100,000, 150, 50K, anything in them numbers. So I looked at the guys like AJ Brown. I was like, damn. I was like, AJ Brown had been bitching the last, couple games, getting into it with Jalen Hurts. I was like, he's definitely due. So I was like, I like him. And then I was looking at Jamarr Chase. I was like, damn. I was like, Jamarr ain't really had a Jamarr game yet. The Bengals ain't really turned into the Bengals yet.
He had the Rams game where he had like 11 catches for $1 something, but no touchdown. Jamarr Chase haven't gotten the end zone yet.
Yeah,
we haven't scored a first half touchdown, bro. This is what I'm talking about, bro. I'm ready to rip. I have a 75-inch TV on this wall. I wish I could turn the camera around to show y'all. It was this close to being ripped off the wall this Sunday, bro.
I told you, serious. I said the Bengals won't get no more of my fucking money this year, bro. After I seen AJ Brown score, I'm like, bet. When I scroll down to y'all game, I see this shit at 27 to fucking 3.
And a big problem is, bro, to start the game, right? We had a really nice opening drive. It looked like the offense was getting back. I was excited, right? We was, quick passes, running the ball. Joe Mixon was getting yards. And then it's like we just went away from it. We go away from the run. If Joe Burrow's calf is hurting that much, let's run the ball a little bit, right? We threw the ball 49 times against the Rams, if I'm not mistaken, I think, and then 30 times against the Titans. And the coach, Zac Taylor, keeps saying, well, we're getting down and we can't run the ball because now we're down and we have to throw the ball. And we're playing teams that once they get a lead, we're playing against Nick Chubb week 1. Lamar in that running game week 2. The Rams, we got to win, right? But Derrick Henry in week 4, where when they get this lead, now you got to now they just going to run the ball, run the clock. The Titans had a 10-minute drive to start the half, bro. A 10-minute drive to start the half and kicked off the field.
That shit was surprising to me, though, bro. That, I've been watching the Titans closely this year, and I'm like, yo, these guys got to bench Ryan Tannehill.
Bro, we lost to a team who've been trying to get rid of their quarterback for the last 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. Bro, but this Tennessee team can barely move the fucking ball to give Henry even the slightest opportunity to score. So when I seen that they put up 27 points on you guys, I was really baffled. Like, jaw dropped. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in Cincy?
Bro. I was on this couch even after the game, man. The 4 o'clock games came on. And usually, like, no matter what, if we win or lose, I'm watching the 4 o'clock games. I'm excited for more football, right? I'll deal with that and watch the, because I watch all of the post game interviews. I'm like, I watch the post game interviews after. That's usually my routine. Man, I was just sitting on the couch. I was like, man, I poured myself a glass of whiskey. It's a Sunday. I usually try to chill on Sunday. I know I got work the next day. I pour myself a glass of whiskey, bro. And I'm just sitting looking at the TV. Like, football on, but I'm not watching it. And what sucks is,
the fucking TV.
And what sucks is, bro, is like, I'm not in Cincinnati, right? Like, I don't, like, when you from a place, the whole city, you kind of go through it with people.
They feel it, yeah.
So, yeah, right? You see somebody in the gas station, it's like, oh, man, we got to get it together. And you kind of feel like you're a part of a community, right? We're going through this together. No, I'm in Philly, and everybody, I'm the only Bengals fan they know pretty much. So everybody, yo, what's wrong with your team? Yo, bro, calling me. I wanted to change my number one day. I wanted to change my number.
But it was Monday, right at you, surrounded by all them Eagles, Steelers, like surrounded by all them fans, bro.
But I'll end on this note, bro. I do think I say this reluctantly. I don't think the season is over yet. Right? If we're 1-3, if you look at the landscape of the AFC, there's no undefeated teams. So I think there's a window, right? The Browns have lost Nick Chubb. No want nobody to get hurt, but we're dealing with the facts here, right? They have no Nick Chubb. They shouldn't be as potent as they would have been with the best player on their offense, on their offense. The Steelers don't look good at all, right? And I don't know if they have the hope that we have from an offensive standpoint, right? Like, where we've been in recent success shows that there's still a chance. The Steelers haven't reached those pinnacles in recent years. The Ravens I'm worried about, right? But the Ravens and the Steelers have to play each other this week. So this is a chance where if we can beat... The crazy thing is, bro, coming into this season, and looking at the schedule, you like Arizona, that should be an easy win. What I kept saying,
everybody saying layups.
Looking at it now, and I know they're 1-3 as well, but it's a very different 1-3 than the Bengals 1-3.
Yeah,
like, I feel like the Cardinals are a surprising team and the Bengals are a disappointing team, even though the records are the same. And this isn't an easy game.
Sleeping, bro. Y'all play the Cardinals next.
We play the Cardinals,
bro. I
said this on,
but I think on our last take, that the Cardinals have been surprising me. Fuck layups, nigga. Shit, you shooting from half trying to beat these niggas, it look like, bro. Like, bro. Like if James Conner is setting the tone and getting into them holes and hitting them gaps and really pounding the run game, and I love Dobbs. I feel like he's a dynamic, bro. Come on,
it's no expectation. It's no, like it's not like. Yeah, they out there just playing football, man. They're playing together. It's going to be a tough task, man. We got to go to Arizona, and a lot of people was asking if we're going to sit Joe Burrow. it sounds like no, they're not sitting him. He's playing. So
I don't
if he
think
is
you
going
can
to play,
afford to now, though. Like, this is something you should have did in the beginning.
I agree. And Joe Burrow wants to play, and I think that's a lot of the thing. Joe Burrow, like, I want to play, and I think a lot of the pressure is knowing that we have these pieces now, right? Like T. Higgins is most likely going to be a free agent at the end of the year. I mean, I think the team will franchise tag him, but I don't know about Tyler Boyd. I think Tyler Boyd might be going. There's certain situations. I know DJ Reader's contract is coming up, so like before the year, Coach Zac Taylor and Joe Burrow and Jamarr Chase was all saying, like, this is the most talented roster we've had since we've been here. Building my hopes up. Feeling good.
Capitalize on that fucking roster, man.
I'll end with this. Beat Arizona. I don't care how ugly it looked. Muck it up. 17-14. I don't care. Get that win. Go to 2-3. The Bengals do play better at home. That Ravens game where I said they lost 27-24, they were in that game. And then the game I was at, the Rams game, we got the dub. Maybe I just need to go to every game. I
don't think the viewers know that you was at the week 3 game.
Yeah, I was at the week 3 game. I'm gonna let the viewers know. I play for the Bengals. I'm just a remote player. I play remotely. But I had to come into the office that day and make sure we got the win. but
tell them they better flip that switch, man, because
yeah,
say 1-4.
Nah, bro. I think we beat Arizona. You got Seattle coming to Cincy. It's gonna be a tough task, but I think home is a totally different ball club than on the road. And I think that'll be an eke out performance, knowing that we headed into the bye. If we can go 3-3, right? And those two teams are very stylistically different than the Titans and the Browns, who we only put up 3 points against. Those are hard-nosed, run-it, strong defensive line teams. Arizona and Seattle don't really have that. So I think the matchup is a little more favorable, even with the circumstances. If we can go 3-3 heading into the bye, we got the bye week right after that. That gives Joe Burrow an extra week. That gives the offense an extra week. 500. It gets tough after the bye because we got to go to San Fran and then we're home for Buffalo. But we'll deal with that when we get there. Win these 2 games. Get to the bye week. 3-3. I can breathe a little.
Get them legs on them, man.
Rant done.
Rant done, man. Rant done. You did pretty good. I thought you were gonna be a little bit more pissed, but it seems like you're balanced out. You know both sides of it.
You know what it is though, because what's today? We're recording this Tuesday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I've had
late night.
I've had some time to. If you would have caught me, like if we would have recorded this Sunday afterwards, I might have threw my laptop off the So I had some time to kind of live with it. I'm good now.
I'm done with you, man.